Welcome back to the Going to IEU podcast. Today I have a very special guest with me, Juan Barrio, Director of Sports and Well-Being here at IE University. Juan, how are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to this podcast and giving me the opportunity to tell a little bit more about the sports to everyone.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about your position, exactly what it is and what your day looks like and things of that nature.
For sure. I mean, I've been working for a while. I'm managing different sports, always in extracurricular activities. And we focus on sports in the last 3 years because we decided and we were aware, and students told us actually, that they want more sports. They want more athletic opportunities at the university. And we decided to create a new department focused on that. So my daily activities and my daily duties are always focused on sports in different segments. We have, for one side, a very competitive teams that compete in leagues every Sunday and train weekly, and they need myself to dedicate some time for logistic and other stuff. We also have social or fun activities open to everyone, where there is no commitment, a mandatory commitment for like X number of days of trainings or games, but you just go there, have fun, meet new people. And the third is other type of activities that we are developing for the good of the community, like outdoor activities or special master classes, or even getting agreements with the sport facilities in our 3 campuses.
So I live in the United States,
Sure.
and so I'm exposed to a lot of my friends they compete in the NCAA for their competitive sports. What does that look like here? Because obviously, we don't have the NCAA here. In Europe and Spain, what does the competitive atmosphere look like for the sports?
That's a great question. When you compare sports in the university level against the United States, we're always gonna lose, and the reason is because of the culture has been created in the U.S. about sports in general, where Division 1 is almost the second division of that sport in the country. You have, for example, in basketball, the NBA, and the second league will be Division 1 of basketball, and Mad Marches as their flag event. In Spain, it doesn't exist like that. Actually, university sports has been always oriented to more social fun than competitive. That's something that from our side we would love to change, but to be very honest and to don't give fake expectations or illusions to anyone, that's very, very hard to change because, as I said, Spanish culture is very different. That's true that, for example, the Consejo Superior de Deportes, which is the bigger or the most important organism of sports in Spain, tries to do some stuff in that direction. For example, every year we have the Campeonatos de España Universitarios, where all the students enrolled in official programs, either undergrad or master level, can compete against the other universities of Spain. And for example, and it's a good day to receive this question. Last Sunday, we finished third in that championship of tennis. Amanda Montes, one of our students, got to semifinals, sadly lost, but got the third position among all the universities in Spain. So we have that small tournament where they have very good athletes. Why? Because at the end, there's athletes that are studying in different universities in Spain, normally with scholarships, and those scholarships make them mandatory to participate in these Spanish University Champions in Spain, CEU. So we have something, but it's far below what you can expect in the US. So what we do in the university to try to save that distance is that we make our university our own sports club. So we are allowed to federate our students and compete in federate leagues in different levels. For example, in rugby, we did it like 5 years ago, more or less, and we just been promoting divisions, and now we are in a nice competitive division. In other sports, for example, female football, we just started this year, so we just started from the bottom, and hopefully in the future we will go going up in different divisions. But again, it's not against other universities. I want to make this very clear. It's not against other clubs of the Madrid city or in the Segovia campus of the Segovia city. In the university level, just competing against other universities, we only have 2 things. The CEUs, Spanish University Championship, this is once a year in every sport, and a Trofeo Rector, which is a small tournament against all the University of Castilla y León, because as you might not know, University is a University of Castilla y León, not in Madrid. That's very important for other things. And that is a weekend tournament that we had it at the beginning of April, actually. where we go there and we play in different sports against the other 8 universities of Castilla y León. But again, it's more oriented to have fun, do networking, and have a great time, other than real competition like it can be Division 1 in the units, which are semi-pro athletes. We are just right below that. But it's competitive, it's fun, and is depending on the sport, it can be a higher or lower competition, but it's always fun. And I think we are getting better in the leagues we play, in the tournaments we participate, and hopefully in the short future, it will be even better.
So can students create their own teams? For instance, if I wanted to create a Frisbee golf team or a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu team, would that sort of thing, does the school promote that kind of thing?
Of course, 100%.
And what does the process look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. Right now, if you want to create a team or a sport healthy activity that we are not serving or we are not promoting, you just need to contact the sports and well-being department, and any of us will help you out to, first of all, communicate this activity, this new team, to the entire community, to find out more people interested in the same sport, in the same activity. As I said, it can be hiking. It doesn't need to be a team. And secondly, once we make sure that we have enough people to deliver that activity, for example, I've been asked several times about handball, which is a very popular sport in some countries in Europe. In Spain, it was quite popular too. But in this university, so far, we didn't reach the minimum number of, 10, 15 students that want to start playing or having fun with that activity. However, we try almost every semester or every year to find more people to make that a reality. Other activities are easier. For example, we have a request this same year that we want a more outdoor-oriented climbing club. So we did some promotion. We get a lot of girls and boys joining it. And now we do at least every 3 weeks, if not a month, one activity outdoor of different types of climbing. And I think it's been a great success. And that's 100% a student-led activity. Obviously, when one student create an activity that is such an importance in the community because such many people join it, we try to get it up from ourselves in the collaboration always with the founder, try to make it more regular and help him to make it bigger. So yeah, if you come to our university and we don't have a sport or we don't have a physical activity that you will ask to deliver, don't hesitate to tell us, and we will do our best with your collaboration to try to provide it to you.
Beautiful. So can you explain to us a little more about the athletic infrastructure that we have here at IE, from the sports spaces to the kind of more logistical side of the infrastructure?
Of course. I mean, here I need to make it very clear it's different in the 3 campuses we have because every campus has his uniqueness. I will start with Segovia because it's our first campus and where a lot of our students start. In Segovia, we don't have our own sport facilities to compete, but we do have some sport facilities on campus to play intramural sports or to reserve by students to have an afternoon of fun or leisure with some classmates or friends. Right now, you can reserve ping pong tables, a basketball court, a volleyball court, and a small artificial grass football pitch where you just can play those sports. And also we have some like physical games that to have fun, like spike ball. So that would be Segovia. For those teams that we need like official or like standard measure facilities, like it can be football, it can be volleyball, or our competitive basketball team, what we do is we rented the best facilities we can in the city, and we provide free transportation from the city center to those facilities to all of our team members and students. So we try to easiness as much as possible the commuting and the transportation for students to those facilities because we don't have it on campus. In Madrid, it's also different in 2 different campuses. In Maria Molina, where most of master students are set, we don't have facilities neither. And what we do there is we try to get agreements with gyms or like yoga studios and other type of physical or sports centers so they can join for a cheaper price and keep practicing their hobbies or their passions. And also we obviously allow them to come to the I Tower, where we are today, to use our sport facilities. That's a very brand new thing that we very happily inaugurated this year, and which is our own sport facilities here in Madrid that include like a multi-sport complex where you can play badminton, pinball, football, futsal, basketball, volleyball, and much more activities, and swimming pool, 2 polyvalent classrooms where you can do yoga, CrossFit, Pilates, ciclo, and many more activities. And hopefully for next year, a small gym, so our students will be able to do some weights and keep training by themselves and having fun. As I said, these facilities in the IE Tower are open to everyone. Doesn't matter in which campus are you studying. If you pass by Madrid or the Tower, you can use it. And for sports like cannot be fit in these facilities in Madrid, like rugby or like 11-a-side football, we do the same as Segovia. We rent facilities as good quality as we can and as closer as we can to our campus, and we provide with free transportation, buses, to these facilities to everyone in the team, like coaches, players, and so on.
So just so everybody who's listening knows, Juan and I are currently on the 22nd floor of the IE Tower, which is a skyscraper in the middle of Madrid. And what he's explaining to us right now is that these sports facilities are going to be within this tower, this skyscraper. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there going to be a pretty big pool within the building?
We already have the pool, but it's not pretty big. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a very modest pool, but it's good enough if you can just go there and have a swim every day or 2-3 days per week. So keep yourself healthy and fit. And if you are a very good swimmer and you want to compete, we have an agreement with a swimming team very close by, where you can just go to a big pool, a competitive pool, and train with them and compete representing IE University and our close friend club.
Cool. Nonetheless, I think it's pretty impressive and crazy. So what? How can students reserve courts or spaces or a spike ball net? Do you have to reach out beforehand? Can you just walk in, say, "Hey, I'm looking for a spike ball net," for this afternoon?
If you walk in, you have the risk of the space is booked or the materials are booked, and you are not really allowed to play because other people is using it or playing with it. So what we do is we developed a web app system for sports. It's called IE Athletics Reservations, where you can book those areas, like for example the volleyball net or the spike ball set. So you can book it to go there to play with your friends. It's also very convenient to do it, so you make sure that it's available for you beforehand. And also because, as you will see, I has private access to the different areas of the tower with face recognition. And when you reserve through the app, they know that you are going and they expect you to go, and they allow you to enter. If not, you will need to wait to the receptionist to check that you are a student, and it will take a little bit more time. I'm taking about 1-2 minutes, not that bad. But if you do reservation before, you just go there straight. The camera will see, okay, this guy reserved spike ball, or this girl is going to swim, and can go through that. This app also works to reserve the different classes we have. For example, let's say you want to go to our yoga class on a Tuesday afternoon or to a ciclo class on a Wednesday morning. Is the way to reserve and make sure that you will have a spot in that class, because at the end there are small classes of maybe 20 persons that can join, and as you will see in this tower we are more than 5,000 people. So if you don't reserve this spot, you're taking the risk of going to the gym and not having room in the class. So that's why we strongly recommend everyone going to the sports center to make a reservation before. You can do the reservation 5 minutes before you want to go. That's not something you need to plan in a week in advance. But if you are just thinking, oh, I have 1 hour free now, I'm going to the pool, just enter in your app, book your slot in the pool, and go down. And we'll make your access easy, and actually will let you know that it's free and open to you that moment.
Wow. The app, the facial recognition, we're certainly driving innovation, would you say? So on a more, now this is on like a personal interest level, for these facilities, do we have like locker rooms or showers or things like that nature, so that if I wanted to say go work out maybe before class or go for a swim before class, I could do that without disturbing the whole classroom with my wetness?
Yes, of course. We have two amazing locker rooms, one for females and other one for males, where we have, I think it's 120 lockers. So it's more than enough for the people using at the same time the sports center. So once you enter in the sports center, the receptionist will give you a key. And in some classes, for example, let's say you're going to yoga or you're going to CrossFit, they will give you also a towel. So you can just put the stuff in the locker room, train, get a shower. They're very modern, nice showers. They're individually set, so you will have your own privacy. And after that, you can just go to the cafeteria or to any of your classes, clean and smelling like flowers.
Beautiful. Nothing like smelling like flowers. So what floor are these facilities located on?
They're in the -4 floor.
Okay.
They have a direct access from the street, actually, in Monforte de Lemos. But if you come from the main entrance in Castellana and the main lobby, you will need to get the elevators to the -4. So it's either in the -4 or floor level. It's the same. It depends of the street you enter. It's
Great.
tricky.
I was thinking we'd have like maybe the pool was on like the 30th floor or something crazy.
It's not that cool yet. I mean, it's in the -4.
Nonetheless, it's incredibly impressive. So now we're going to delve into the slightly more philosophical.
Right.
So can you run us through the sort of emotional and obviously physical benefits that, these students are getting from participating in these activities, whether it's like the camaraderie, the friendships, and even, how you have yourself benefited, from in the past, maybe, or even now?
Sure. I mean, this is actually a great question, and it's one of the key cornerstones of the sports and well-being department. We created this department not to create professional players or athletes of any sport. We created because we strongly believe that through sports, you will learn several things that will benefit you a lot during your student phase, but also with your professional and lifelong existence. The first one is the values and the teachings that the sports can give to you in different scenarios. It can be competitive, it can be just training by your own. You will see and you will experience by yourself very clearly how commitment gives you a benefit, how making efforts is good in any sense, how easy it is to make friends doing something that you like, and also learning like professional activities that we are not always aware that you learn through sports. Let's say that you are participating in a team sport, it doesn't matter which one, and you are a leader and you didn't know that. You can develop that leadership in the team. Either you have it or not. Because you will see that, for example, in a university stage like we are, that when you are a third-year student, you need to guide and you need to teach first-year student on the values of the team, on how to do the things in the team, on the culture of the team. So even if you don't want to be an older student, you will learn that skill, leadership. Obviously, in team sports, you will learn and experience by yourself team building. Obviously, being in a university like us with so many cultures and backgrounds, you will need to see how important is diversity, which is a key word in IE. And I know you will experience in different ways, but in sports, that will be even more important because maybe you come from a country that respect is 100% and you are not allowed to interact in such ways. And on the other hand, you will have people from other countries where 100% interaction with no limits, it's allowed. And those two people with so many different cultural heritage will need to find a middle point to be friends, to team together and to compete together in the benefit of the university and the team. So that's a great question because it adds all these things. Obviously, in the sports department, we take care a lot about these things, and that's why we have different areas that we develop for everyone. Like we have the competitive teams for those athletes or students who came with a previous level, with a previous experience in their sport, that they join the teams. But we also have so many different activities for everyone that they can join to learn the sport, to improve in the sport, or to just do some exercise that, here I'm going to the second most important thing, will benefit your health. At the end, we all need to learn that sports or physical activity needs to be done not just to be cute, not just to be well-looking, but to take care of yourself. I mean, especially in the education level, for example, if you practice sport regularly, you will see how your stress levels go down. So even in exams or like in the final project part of the semester, you should keep practicing those sports you like, because your stress levels will go down, so you will be more efficient when you study, and you will be more relaxed at the time of going to an exam and probably get better grades. That's a very good example of how sports can benefit your other duties during the day. Also, as I said, we believe that sports is the best way, the absolute way, to meet people from other years, other degrees, other backgrounds, because at the end, if you like football or you like weightlifting and you go to a place where you do that, you know that that person next to you at least have the same hobby, that same hobby or interest than you. So it will be easy to start an interaction. Hey, we're playing football. Do you see Champions League night yesterday, or do you watch Atletico Madrid game the other day? And you can start a easy conversation to make a good friendship for life, hopefully. Or if not, just at least meet people from other degrees and years, which is also important, because sometimes you just come to class, your teamwork, your homework, study, blah, 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 and you don't realize that you might be in 1 degree in second year, and we have other 10, 15 degrees in 5 different years. Plus also, we don't need to forget the master's students. How you can meet master's students if not through extracurricular activities? It's very complicated. So you can see, for example, in our rugby team, that we have right now three types of students, or more or less students playing. We have undergrads from 1st to 5th year, different degrees. We have master students from different degrees. And we also have alumni from the university and master that keep living in Madrid and are part of the team. So that's the way of creating community, making a strong network of people for your personal and professional lives. Because at the end, imagine you are a BBA student that want to go into the bank sector. And maybe you enter in the rugby team because you like rugby, and you discover you have an IMBA student that already has worked for 4, 5, 6 years in the bank sector. So he can give you advices how to focus your career. Maybe he can give you, or can help you to get your first, job, or like at least contacts to enter in a bank. So at the end, that's sports. That's being healthy. That's well-being. That's the different benefits that you can get from being active in sports. As I said, it can be a team, or it can be any of our physical activities that we organize in the tower, like ciclo, like Pilates, like yoga, like boxing, and many more. Like sports at the end is a teaching tool for you, the way keeping healthy, which is important for everyone, and also a magnificent way of networking and meeting people.
Yeah, the benefits of sports are definitely endless. I can certainly attest to the almost physiological barrier that sports will present to stress when you're, in a tough situation. It's actually pretty amazing. Everybody always talks about it, but it's a real thing.
It's a real thing, 100%.
So let's end on a reflective and high note here. Not that the rest of the podcast hasn't been very high note. So, but what's been your favorite athletic experience here at IE?
Wow, that's a very complicated question, actually.
It can be multiple if you want.
It can be multiple. Thank you. It makes it easier. Well, I think that one of our key events through the different years is the Trofeo Rector of Universities in Castilla y León, where we go with plus 100 students every year, and they have the opportunity to meet other students from other universities in Castilla y León, in this case. And it's very good, or very nice event, because you can see how the different I teams support each other. Like, for example, you can see the football guys supporting the volleyball girls, or the tennis players being supported by the futsal girls. Because at the end, we are on the same city for 2 days. You play your game at your time, and afterwards you don't have anything else to do. So you go to support your peers. While in the regular days at the Madrid campus or Segovia campus, it's more complicated, because at the end you have other things to do, you have homework, you have personal lives. But there we are all 100% focused on athletics, on sports, and you can see the support, and you can see in both sides how our athletes play better because they're being supported, and how our supporters enjoy very much supporting their peers. So that's one of our great events, and you can see how... I can tell you that every year the students want to repeat and go again, which is not always possible. We want to give the opportunity to other students to participate and to experience that. So I would say that for students and myself is one of the key events. Other event that make me especially happy this year is, as you said, we're in Skyscraper in a quite high tower. And we organized this year the first IE vertical race, where we ask students to climb the steps as far as they can. And it was very nice because at the beginning we thought it was, okay, this is kind of crazy. How many people will join? But we have the good idea of saying, okay, let's do one thing. Let's going to do the race where people will run and get up as they can. But let's give also the opportunity to people who just want to do the challenge by walking. Everyone can walk. If you take 10 minutes, it will be fine. If you take half an hour, it will be exactly fine. And it was incredible success. Being the first year, being a rainy day, not very warm. It was not a very appealing day to compete. We have almost 200 people who participate in both running and walking. It was very, very nice to be in the finish point, seeing everyone arrive with the ones who are trying to win, obviously exhausted, like, wow, this is crazy. But also the people who take it less seriously say, wow, I make it. I could just walk all these floors that I normally took in an elevator. So I think it was a very fun event that we actually decided to make it yearly. It's going to be a new tradition at IE, and I invite every one of you to participate next year because our idea is to do it yearly, and our idea is to make it like a charitable event where we just get funds to NGOs or people who need it just by participating. So it's very fun. This year we didn't do it to the top. I need to say that because it was the first year and we went to level how far it was. It was to the middle of the tower, to the 16th floor. But next year we are thinking if we can do two different areas, one to the 16th and one to the top. Just for the ones of you who are already thinking of winning the championships, I can tell you that the winner in the medal sector did it in almost 3 minutes. 20 floors in 3 minutes. So it was insane. In the girls, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was 3 minutes and 40 seconds, something like that. So it was really good times. So I challenge you to make it better. I challenge you to participate. And I also make it very clear, if you don't want to run that fast, because I don't want to and I can't actually, just do it in your rhythm or walk it. Because this is a fun experience that you can do with other students and you will have a great day and have a lot of fun.
Wow. Well, I'm getting physically ill just thinking about running up 40 flights of stairs, but it sounds like a beautiful concept and challenge. And it's also beautiful to see how multifaceted this institution is and to see that the athletic department is really burgeoning. Well, thanks for joining us today, Juan.
Our pleasure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's episode of the Going to IEU podcast. Today's guest was Juan Barrio, Director of Sports and Wellbeing.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.